Welcome back, everybody, and welcome anybody new here. Obviously, if you've been around for the last couple weeks here, it's been kind of on and off as far as ice fishing is concerned. I've been running as far as I can, and then we've been getting storms, and the weather's not cooperating, and been able to get on ice, not get on ice. Needless to say, I thought about something that somebody had mentioned at the beginning of the season, because I had just got at the beginning of the season. If you've seen the title and the description thumbnail of this, you know I'm going to be doing a review on the Helix 7 ice fishing bundle. I'll kind of do a review on it in the summer if you guys want me to. Comment below if you guys want me to do kind of an overview of like how I run it in the summer on my little boat. If you guys haven't seen any of that stuff, you can go back through my open water videos and see I run a little 14-foot Miracraft right now, looking to upgrade in the near future, but I digress. This is all about that Humminbird Helix 7 and how I've liked it so far on the ice. As you guys know, if you've been around for a while, the big thing here is I like to use things for a while, kind of get acclimated to them, really get down and use them, and then share my opinion with you guys so that you guys can actually get like a real life opinion on like how it works and stuff like that. None of that like, oh well, somebody's paying me to say this thing. This is literally what I think and how I think it works out, good and bad. I'm gonna go off of both of those. So if you guys are looking for just like a one-sided opinion, that's not here. Okay, so first things first here. We're just gonna kind of go through this step by step from this point on. One thing I want to talk about is, when I bought this kit, it came with this case, and you have to kind of assemble the actual carriage that's inside of it, which, I mean, it could be considered a pain in the butt, but, I mean, for what it cost, it wasn't that bad. Oh, and I know some of you guys are going to be like, why do you have a boat cover on here? I beat my stuff up in the wintertime. I don't do it on purpose, but I'm always running and gunning, I'm always moving around, and I'm always trying to, just be on the next bite. With that being said, this is just something I run with it on my trailer down the road to keep rocks and stuff off of this screen. And I mean, it's a slightly little soft padded case. With that, with that being on there, this case plus this, you guys guessed it, it just adds more protection to it. If you guys aren't, or if you are new here, you'll figure out real quickly here, I like to overprotect all of my stuff because I want to take care of it for a long time. I want it to last me a while. I'm not one of those guys that buys and sells things like on a regular basis. I buy something because I wanted it, and that's why I got it. I didn't get it to just get rid of it right away or break it or something like that. So it's a cheap, I think it's like a $15 cover on Amazon or something like that. If I can find all this stuff, I will link it below in the description for you guys if you guys want to pick up your own stuff. I already had this unit, the head unit. This is the Helix 7 G2 Chirp down imaging. So this is my down imaging unit on my boat. But let's get into the details of it. Okay, so first things first about this whole setup here. You guys probably can't see it too well, but there's, well, here, I'll just take it out of here for you, because it is a pain in the butt to get in and out, but I can do it. That way you guys actually have understanding what you get here. Okay, so this is the shuttle you get. And like I was saying, you assemble this. So it comes, I believe, with these uprights and this attached. You have to put this on there, and what was the other things? So you have to put these little cord management tools, which I kind of like. So these are spring loaded and locked down in place, and then they have these little tabs on the ends of them where your cord can fit in them. So you can kind of run them that way, even if you don't want to run the float. I've actually kind of gotten used to the float, but you have to put these tabs on here. You have to make it so that you can, there's like a little foam insert, and then these things go in here. But I mean, for the most part, that's the basic thing that you get. Otherwise, you should already have one of these if you're not getting one already, or picking one up at the same time. like I said, I list everything in my description. So, like I was saying before, though, this case and that cradle, I believe that all came together. So that's one thing. So I'll try to find the exact same thing I bought. It might be a little hard because it took me a little while. I had to do a lot of research. It's actually pretty hard to find this stuff together. What I wanted to buy was the case, the cradle, and the XI9 transducer thing. I think that's what it is. I'll look at it and make sure that it's specific to this one, but the whole bundle, I wanted to buy that all together instead of like trying to piece it together over time. As far as that's concerned, when I bought that, I was pretty happy with it. I mean, like I said, there's some assembly required, but it's not so drastic that it's really that hard. So far, the case has been holding up pretty good. It's got these little grippy feet on here, which actually slide on like if you're on glare ice and you go to set the unit down, it wants to slide because they're hard plastic. But I mean, if there's a little bit of snow and stuff like that, it grabs. It's got these little pockets on the sides of it. I don't ever use them. I have a backpack with all my stuff in it. The nice thing here, I actually like, it's a simple thing that you don't notice until you fish a lot, is these little Velcro tabs. So there's one here and one there. So it keeps the cover on the back so that it's not like flopping over in the wind all the time. I noticed that with my other units upstairs right now, but with my other little thing, you have to like roll up the top and like stick it away. But that's just one of those, you know, added benefits of this one that somebody was thinking when they made this case, you know, for people to use. It's obviously got the carry handle for this part right here, so like you can reach in and carry it. It's got this carry handle. It's got shoulder strap carry handle, so you can carry it like a purse if you want to. It's got the access bay in the back here with Velcro on that too. There's a lot of Velcro on here. Somebody was using their Velcro budget wisely. But this access is nice because I charge, here, let me show you. I charge this. I'm using an Amped Outdoors lithium battery. You can use any lithium battery. I just wanted one. I just grabbed one that was on sale or something like that. But with these tabs, so you can put these little quick connect things with these upper tabs. And you can make it so you can just plug something in here. You know, like a female end of this right here. So you can actually wire something like that directly to that, and then that way you just plug them together. But I do it this way. So I just do that. So that's how I charge it. It works just fine. I have my battery station here. If you guys need to, go back through my other fishing videos, ice fishing videos. I believe I have it in here, or my tech tips or something like that. It might even be a Tackle Tip Tuesday. But I made this charging station with everything linked here. And then you have the actual, like, charges lithium and SLA batteries. So I can charge regular batteries like this and lithium batteries with the same charger. That's why I got that one. But that window, I was saying, makes it so you can just do this. So I don't necessarily need to have that female connector, but I'll probably make one at some point with the tabs on here, so that just slides out of there and you just gotta lift up and plug it in. It just makes it a lot easier. That's gonna stay in there as long as that battery works. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn this on here. What I want to do is kind of show you guys how I have it set up right now and the options that you can run with it and why I'm doing what I'm doing, because a lot of people do this thing where they do reviews on, I've seen it, I mean there's tons of reviews on here, and basically what you end up with in all these reviews is guys just basically telling you, I guess, that the unit's good or bad. I mean, it's a basic review. You always end up with the same thing. So what I'm going to try to do here is go through the simulations and stuff like that. Let me play with it for a second and make sure that I can show you guys appropriately. Okay, so I have it on simulator mode right now. I'm not on the ice, obviously.
It seems like that's going to be the best way to kind of give you guys a demonstration of this stuff. What I'm going to do is I'm going to still put this together for you guys so you guys can see it here, and I can explain it without wind and all the outside noise. But I'll turn this around, and I'm going to show you the things that I've been running it on and why. And I'll kind of talk to you guys why I'm doing that and how I've found that they seem to be the best ways to do it, and I'll do my best to explain that.
Okay, so hopefully their simulator mode's kind of goofy. So this is how I've been running it in this main screen right here. And I'll tell you the reasons why. So this is a full view right here. This is an A-scope. I forgot what they call it, but it's like your instant readout. So like if I go into menu and my active pane is that one, and let me see. So they don't have you set it up on here, but so flash style. Oh, it's because I'm on my right pane. So if I go to chart speed, I've turned that all the way to ultra. Exit that. So menu, make sure you're in your right panel, ultra, low range, chirp IR. I think I've been running it in 3. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've been running it in 3. And then I think that's the sonar colors I've been running. Oh, so that's your RTS window. That's what it's called? So I have it on narrow right now. Depending on how deep I'm fishing, if I'm fishing really deep, I've been running it on wide, because if you guys can see, there's these little blobs, and here, let me exit that so you can actually see. These little blobs that you see, these little circle disc, they make finding fish off the bottom really easy. As I was saying, they run this thing on like it's an open water, like you're moving across the water. But if you're ice fishing, obviously you'd be standing still, and the bottom would be just sitting there still. So you'd be able to read the density of the bottom through those colors. But then if a fish moves in the bottom, the reason I've been running it like this, and you can kind of see it better here. So those are all like fish through the water column. These bubbles you see here, what you'll see is something like that. So that was a fish, you can see up there because it's open water. But what you'll see is these bubbles show up on the bottom. So if that's like the bottom, you'll see a little bubble show up right there. See how it's like rounded? And when it's rounded like that, it makes it so that so you can kind of see it right there. So like that's the bottom, and then those would be fish coming off the bottom. It basically makes it so nothing can hide down there now. And that was something that I figured out on my own, just kind of playing around with it. And it was an amazing discovery, because I was perch fishing when I did that, and I was able to mark, 5-6 inch perch coming in glued to the bottom. And then, as you can see, so that right there, even with my chart speed on ultra, it marks for a second there, but it'll stay for the duration up here. And that's the thing, is I want to be able to see if anything pops in up here if I'm fishing down here and I'm not paying attention to this area. All I got to do is glance over here every once in a while, and this will tell me if there's anything up there. This is a zoom box that they're showing right there. It's one of those things, I don't use it. Let me get out of here real quick. So if you go through the views, there's a zoom box, and you can move the zoom box up and down so that that's where your zoom is. But I don't ever use that zoom box. I probably should. This I've been using for weeds. I'm going to have to show you guys out on the ice. Just stay tuned. I have a lot of late ice stuff, and it has to do with fishing weeds. So I can show you a really cool trick with this when you're in the weeds or by the weeds and stuff like that. You guys are going to want to see it, because it's something I discovered, and I was very, very happy to see it. The next thing, so you can obviously go through... I've fished this screen before, so when I'm fishing shallow water with no structure, no weeds in the vicinity, and I'm just fishing bottom content, like I said before, these blobs will show you if a fish shows up on the bottom, but then you have a whole screen here to show your ups and downs, basically allowing you to I guess, follow the fish, and it kind of lets you read what the fish is doing. That's why I use this unit mainly, is just for the sole purpose of the screen memory. So the distance from here to here is all memory. So the fish shows up, and it shows up, and you're moving your bait up and down, and you're watching the fish move up and down. You can see every little movement that fish makes. I know, like I said, this is like they're simulating an open water scenario, like you're moving a boat across bottom, but you can kind of see, like, if a fish was attacking something and it went down after it here, you would see that. So, like, if you're moving a bait up and down over here, you would see the fish moving with it or just staying still, and you'd have to figure out what to do next to catch that fish.
All right, so hopefully I could have gone through all the different screens like everybody else does, but my main thing here is I wanted to show you guys how to optimize this unit. So it's obviously a summer unit. They've made it so that you could use it in the wintertime. A lot of people wonder why people, like, you'll watch videos of people fishing and they'll be using that the dial like that instead of just using the full chart mode. And like I said, I'll go back and forth between full chart mode and the dial. But the thing with the dial is it gives you a very definitive blob, which is kind of funny to say. And when I say definitive, I mean you could have the bottom will look like a yellow smooth hump, and then out of nowhere you'll get a red peak or a bluish reddish peak off of that. And that's when you know a fish is swim in. So walleye and perch glued to the bottom, or I've even got a couple crappie that way too, glued to the bottom, trying to hide. You can get down there and get them to come up. And then once they come off the bottom, the thing is so this is the bottom bubble. Like there'll usually be some kind of hump down there, and you'll get used to looking at it. But the bottom bubble will be here, and you'll see it become another bubble and then separate. And that, I mean, it really is like cheating. This stuff is like cheating, because once you see that separation, you know you've got that fish's interest, and now it's up to you to catch them. And that's the fun part. I mean, that's the challenge, is trying to get them to come out and play. But for the most part, like I said, I run the chart and the little RTS window on the side, just so like I can vertical jig, or I'll actually get rid of the RTS window altogether and just run chart. Because if I'm running the flasher, I'm more focused on the flasher, and it's basically because, like I said, those bubbles are very, very, very definitive, like very, space orientated. So it's just one of those things. It's one of those good investments. If you've already got a Humminbird, there's no reason you shouldn't get this, this kit. Like I said, I'm gonna try to find it online. I should actually have my LX7 or Helix 7 listed below. And if I don't, I will. But I think I already have that listed below. But I'll link this whole package down there. So if you guys want to put it together, I would look sooner than later, because right around now till the end of March, there's a lot of sales. And the links that I provide will actually allow you to look into some of those sales. And you guys might get lucky. You might get, like, I got this for a really good deal. I don't usually tell people how cheap I got this for. It's the only reason I have this thing. I'm not rich or anything. And like I've stated before, I don't make a lot of money here. So it was one of those things where it was so cheap, I had to buy it. So I hope this one helps you guys make that decision. Okay, guys. So I hope you guys kind of get an understanding of why I'm using that unit. You guys have asked me a million different times, why are you using a Helix 7, an LX7, what was the other one, my M5 lithium. The thing is, they all kind of have their place. I really like, so I have my LX7 right there. I really like the LX7 for the zoom and like the target adjust. The biggest thing there is nobody else does that. That's the craziest thing. It just blows my mind that not another company can do that, unless Markham has a patent on it or something like that. But the biggest thing here is it has this thing where you can raise and lower your targets. Now, you can raise your gain and make the things a little bit bigger and darker and lighter if you want to up and down your gain. You really have to play with it. I don't want to suggest a way of doing it, because really you should be playing with it if you get one and figure out how to get it to where you want it. A lot of people do this thing where they give you like a cookie cutter sheet of like, here, this is what I do, and then everybody else copies that and they don't like it. This is all about you and how much you want to fish with it. So make sure you play with it. I hope, like I said, this helps you out. If I find the deals online for you, I'll link them below. I link everything below for you guys. It's basically to help the channel out a little bit. And then on top of that, it helps you guys get basically the same things I'm using and makes it easier for all of us to go catch some more fish. But I hope that, you know, the rest of these videos this winter are better than this. I need to get out of this place. But up until those days, I hope these videos help you out. Obviously, if you're not new here, you know what's up. But if you are new, can you please just remember to